iRobot is best known for their Roomba line of products without a doubt, but it's been expanding into other territories in recent history. After vacuums, the next logical step of course is mops, and that's where the Braava line of products comes in. $199, the Braava Jet 240 is the cheapest in the line, and it's actually the least expensive product iRobot makes too. When pitting the Braava up against a Roomba, it's pretty clear just how small this thing is in comparison. Its compact and lightweight nature makes it perfect for getting around small obstacles in a room like the freestanding sink or toilet in the bathroom, and cleaning those dirty places that can sometimes be forgotten. Design-wise, this is quite different from the Roomba's round nature, with a rounded square shape, 2-pound weight, and a giant handle at the top. It's pretty clear the Braava is meant to be taken around the house for spot cleaning. A single button on top is used for toggling cleaning modes, as well as toggling that virtual wall feature. Underneath the handle is an eject switch for popping out the removable sweeping and mopping pads, and a water reservoir for mopping functions. On the back sits a removable, rechargeable battery, and around front is the spray nozzle for keeping the floor wet. Underneath is a simple set of 2 wheels on an axis that pitches left and right for uneven surfaces, and a set of navigational sensors underneath toward the front and the back. As a mop, the Braava Jet's nature is such that it needs pads changed out, much like a Swiffer would. iRobot ships the Braava Jet with 2 kinds of each pad, a dry pad, a damp pad, and a wet pad. The names here actually describe the functional mode for the mop though, as all these disposable pads are actually dry inside the package. iRobot also sells reusable versions of each of these pads, each of which are rated at 50 washes a piece and can be bought in a 3-pack for $30. This latter way is a far more economical way of using the robot and will significantly cut down on the ownership cost over even a small amount of time. There's no denying the convenience of disposable pads though, and it's for these times that it might be nice to have a few lying around for a quick sweep or mop before friends and family come over. Sweep mode works very similarly to the original dry Swiffer in that the pad is a statically charged cloth that sucks in the dust and particles that the Braava runs over. Navigation for the Braava is a simple bump and go affair, no cameras or fancy laser guided navigation to be found here. Much of this is to keep costs down, and also the fact that the Braava Jet is only rated to clean around 200 square feet at a time before needing a charge. Different home layouts will see slightly different battery life results, but in my home, this equated to about 3 rooms of dry sweeping before needing a charge. Charging takes about an hour or so, and it would have been nice to have a much faster charger, although it at least keeps the voltage super low when the battery is full to extend that battery life. Dry pads themselves also last longer than the wet pads do in general, and can be reused a couple of times before needing to be ditched. Holding the Braava over our garbage and pressing that lever on the top drops the pad off for you, so no need to get messy after it's finished cleaning. Adding hot water to the reservoir is necessary before any damp or wet cleaning cycle, but don't worry about the Braava accidentally spraying water on a dry cycle if you forget to empty it. Each pad has a set of notches to help the Braava identify which mode it needs to run in, and it's not just water that differentiates each mode either, it's the behavior too. Damp mode uses a more abrasive material but still works in the same straight line pattern as the dry mop, working its way in a grid-like pattern around the room. Wet mode changes the behavior to a much slower movement, which also includes curving left and then right, returning to cover each section twice in a long motion. Navigation begins in the bottom left corner of a room and works its way around to the right until it can't go any further. After this, the edges are cleaned and any stray spots that were missed are then covered as well. While it doesn't seem like it could be very intelligent in its navigation, only being able to cover 1 or 2 rooms at a time means less room for error, and in general I was really impressed with how much the Braava Jet was able to clean. Even those tough to reach spots behind the fridge and the wall were cleaned, and the little spaces in the bathroom between the sink and toilet and the wall were also covered as well. I did see the Braava get stuck between the fridge once, but that was really it, and in general it's quite good at what it does despite being limited in its navigational abilities. Spot clean mode exists to super clean a 4x4 foot area, and this mode works incredibly well to say the least. We set up an area on tile with muddy footprints, and after just a few minutes the Braava was able to nab all but a small section that got trapped in the tile's deepest grout grooves, something that any other flat style mop would also have had an issue with. Battery life means that this will never be a whole house cleaning solution, rather it's designed to clean just a single room or 2 at a time, so keep those pretty heavy limitations in mind when considering whether or not to drop $200 on this little robot. iRobot also includes a virtual wall mode that sets up an invisible line behind wherever the vacuum starts, keeping it from entering unwanted rooms or wandering and wasting precious battery life. It's also usually great about not getting on carpet too, something that's nice considering you don't want it trying to mop carpet, and it worked just as well on hardwood as it did on tile. There's even Bluetooth connection with the same iRobot Home app that the Roomba line uses, although Bluetooth connection still has the usual set of issues. Pairing is a pain in the butt to say the least, and I frequently had to wait some time before the app finally picked up the vacuum's Bluetooth connection to the phone. Wi-Fi would definitely have been preferred, but since this isn't an always-on affair, it makes sense that iRobot went with the cheaper connection that has less range. Overall, this thing is awesome, and while it's not meant for cleaning large areas all at once, its performance is exemplary for its scope. Those that want a larger cleaning area might want to stick with the more expensive Braava units that are rated to cover larger spaces, but for smaller dwellings or spot cleanings, this thing is pure awesome in robot form. We hope you enjoyed that video and will subscribe to us for more regularly updated content.